Konnichiwa, Mina. This is Teaser here, and you're watching PokeCast. Today on GameBoy Top 10s, this is going to be the best puzzle games that aren't Tetris. And there are going to be some rules that I will establish so you can understand why Tetris is not in here. Rule number 1, it has to be on GameFAQs puzzle list. This way I was able to limit myself from looking at a ton of games and only looking at puzzle games. And I think that really helps me out trying to make this list. Rule number 2, no Game Boy Color games. This is strictly Game Boy. I just can't add Game Boy Color since it is another system, and this also excludes playable Game Boy Color on Game Boy games. Moving on to rule number 3, no Tetris games. This is basically the golden rule right here. It cannot be Tetris. You know, what you see right here, any game that is in the Tetris family cannot be on this list. Now, moving on to rule number 4. No Tris games. So, word Tris, hat Tris, Watris, dog Tris, anything like that. Okay, these two games actually exist, and Watrix does exist, but that way it's no Tris games as well. So, moving on to number 10, Quarth. I hope I said that right. This is a game that I had to add in, mainly just because of how unique it is. It is a space shooter puzzle to literally, you're sitting there filling up the puzzle pieces. It's very easy to mess up, and you get to have a lot of fun playing this game. Out of all the games that there were to choose from, this one just intrigues me, and I personally think that it needs to be in this type of a list because of it being so unique of a puzzle game, mixing two genres together and mixing it perfectly. And because of that, that's why I had to do that. So that is Quarth for the Game Boy. Moving on to number 9, Nantan no Isu Koro Koro Puzzle. And I totally said that wrong. After going through all the games that I had to research, this one, I just had a lot of fun with it. Very unique, and I really enjoyed how it works. You know, going with the simple piecing two things together, well, why not have it when you push the button, instead of being able to rotate it, it rotates the pieces into two different pieces. And that is what intrigued me in this game. The video you're watching now is probably only 1/10 of the video length, because I kind of got carried away really getting into it, and I really enjoy this one. It's definitely one I'm going to be doing a review on, a play video, I should say, review on it later, just because it's so unique. And one thing that also intrigued me was that every once in a while when you turn the pieces, it would have special pieces which could really mess you up. Plus, the character design I enjoyed, but it's the game itself that, yeah, I'd be spending a lot of time playing this game, more so than I already have, just checking out each of the puzzle games to figure out which one was going to go into this. So that is why this one is here over Kirby's puzzle game, just because I found this one to be more entertaining than that one, and also Pack Attack. So, plus, come on, you get to play as a cat who's trying to decide what he wants to eat. That right there is just that's enough for me. So, really enjoyed this one. So bizarre. All right. Moving on. Number 8, Pipe Dream. For any of you Game Boy game players, or DOS players, or NES players, or whatever other system this has been released on in any other form, you know, there's been so many. This is one of the all-time best puzzle games you could ever play. And the only thing I don't like about this game is when I was playing this, I'll be honest, I completely forgot about you cannot have any extra pieces on the board. Totally forgot about that. That's why I'm totally messing up, and I am willing to admit to that. Basically, for anybody who hasn't played this game, right at where it shows the S, that's where the water starts, and you have to connect as many pieces together to go as long as you can. There is, of course, a distance meter which tells you how many you at least minimally have to do. From there, you just go as long as you can and try not to get as many extra pieces as I have out there. My favorite version of this game is called Anthill for DOS. I don't know why, but playing with an ant is probably my favorite version of the game. I don't know why. Yeah, right here's where I'm totally messing up, and I completely killed my score. Don't do that. So yeah, Anthill is my favorite version of this game. There are countless versions of it, but this is definitely one of the games that I played endlessly in my childhood, and a lot of us from that era played as well. And personally, I like this one better than Minesweep, and that's why Minesweeper is not here. It's because of this game right here, which I played more of, because I could do a good job. Yeah, totally messed up on that. Moving on. Number 7, Money Idol Exchanger. This game is awesome. You're playing with yen, and the goal of the game is you have to pick up enough yen, put it up there to make it disappear and change into larger yen. Basically, it'd be like if you're playing with American currency, you'd be picking up the pennies pick up 5 pennies to make 1 nickel, pick up 2 nickels to make a dime, and so forth, up to where you're supposed to be able to make 1,000 yen. That's when they'll disappear for the thing. The letters are just there to annoy you, basically. This is a game that definitely takes skill, because you can mess up quite easily, and the game does speed up to where you're dead. But the concept alone has impressed me. I have this actually for I actually bought the PlayStation 1 version. It's available on the PlayStation Network, and even though I'd rather play the PlayStation edition just because they have animation, and they actually have voiceover and all that, this one's just good. I'm probably going to be importing this one just because I like to have it for my Game Boy. So sorry about that. I had a little issue in the background, because this is just amazing, and I'd love to have it for I can play on my Game Boy. Hopefully Nintendo does get this on the 3DS for I can at least do it that way, if I can have it on my 3DS, because this is an amazing game. So yeah, this is one, if you see it, pick it up. It's an amazing puzzle game because of the concept. So this is the Money Idol Exchanger. Next is number 6, Bust-A-Move 2 Arcade Edition. Now, there is Bust-A-Move 3 on here, but because neither of them have a Game Boy Color feature which helps out the graphics, I just went for the first one. It plays just as good, even though I mess up a lot in this game. It's a game that needs to be here. Bust-A-Move is one of those that really has added to the puzzle genre. Even if this was not here, I know there's a lot of fans who just look at me like, what are you doing? So I, without a doubt, had to put this one here because this one deserved to be here. And of course, it's very, very easy to mess up on here if you do not get the angles right. That's right. And I have played almost all of the versions that have actually been out. all, but I haven't got the opportunity to play the PlayStation 2 one, the Dreamcast edition, and I think there's a Game Gear one I haven't been able to, but other than that, I played all of the Nintendo releases. And still, the Game Boy one is just my favorite out of all of them. I mean, there is a DS one, a 3DS one as well, but this one's just a nice version for the portables. I don't know why, but it's probably one of my favorites out of all of them. And I mean, what else can I say? Angle, estimate, shoot out the color ball and pop. And yeah, so that is my number 6 of the best non-Tetris puzzle games for the Game Boy. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this little video. Hopefully you guys will check out part 2 where you get to see where I chose the next top ones. This is Steve Scursing, ciao and sayonara.